This is Natalie with NASDAQ here. I'll be giving you a market update for today, which is April 2nd, 2021. So I'm going to start doing these market updates literally every single day, so definitely keep up with me if you want to watch these assets that are undervalued in the bull market. There are so many groups and even individuals out there that are trying to get you to join their paid group or course or whatever, saying they have a coin that will, multiply, 20x your money or 30x or whatever. Just we're going to keep with these simple ones. These simple coins are all available on Coinbase. Again, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. But these are just ones, if you happen to want to look into these and follow along, these are the ones I'm going to be updating every single day. Just let you know where we are with that, because I feel like they have a lot of potential. So I definitely think it's worth right now covering them every single day. Once they hit their peak, I won't really be talking about them anymore. But right now there's so much potential, so it's very much worth talking about. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and keep up to date with this journey of the cryptocurrencies. So okay, Bitcoin is just under 60,000, and I'll show you on the daily here, but it's still fighting to kind of get above that level. But I really wanted to show you that these Fibonacci levels work. Other people may draw them on different time frames, maybe even the daily, because there's more data to go on there. I just want a really simple chart to look at and to go off of these super strong levels that hit. Monthly, there really isn't that much information, but weekly, it's a little bit more. So I feel like these are just very clean. We're going to go with those. At the very least, I'm going to keep it consistent across every single crypto. So yeah, you may be saying, wow, like these Fibonacci's here that Natalie's drawing are whack, right? Which, they do look kind of crazy if it hasn't happened yet. But here on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and even as you can see, like the previous data, how they line up, how the candlesticks line up with these lines, you'll basically see that this is kind of like a roadmap that we can follow without really seeing what's going to happen, or we don't know what's going to happen yet. So yeah, basically going off of that, and then the stochastic RSI, the relative strength index, it's basically showing like the strength of buying or selling that's currently happening in the market. It's a little bit harder to see kind of if something is hitting the top of, the buying, but I definitely believe when it's at the bottom where it can be a good, possible buying opportunity. It's very different on different time frames. But it's just something else that I look at because it usually does work on, the daily or hourly. So, okay, we're going to look at these on the weekly, and then I'm going to break it down into the 4-hour, possibly the hourly charts. But, okay, so, yeah, Bitcoin, it's reaching towards its 3.6 fib, but then once it gets past that, up to the 4.23 fib. And then Ethereum, it is just about hit the 1.6 fib right here. Once it reaches past that, it'll probably try to fly up there to the 2.6. Let's see, that's essentially what Bitcoin did. This is like a strong level that it kept touching back to, this line right here, and then it just flew through up to the 3.6. So hopefully that would put Ethereum at 4,700 amounts. If it were to do similar price action to Bitcoin, there's no guarantee that it will, but as far as it's looking, it's very similar to Bitcoin. So yeah, definitely looks strong here, and those are levels we're looking for next. So around 3,400, and then next 4,700. And another update, a lot of these fibs I felt like were very extended, at least in the higher target, so I moved them down to not just from the wick, but to like the actual where the candlestick closed. And hopefully those will give us some strong lines. I just feel better being a little bit more conservative than having these wild price targets, although they definitely already seem like a lot. But again, they do end up working over time, as we can see with some of these other assets. So we're going to keep referencing these back to our current hourly time frames. But yeah, so now Bitcoin Cash is at 587 and still very much trying to even just reach for the level 1 of the previous all-time highs. So the next one, it would basically have to clear, which you can see it's been trying to right here, the 730 level. Once it pushes past 730, probably blast up to around 1100. Then EOS on the weekly, it is also battling with the 0.236 level. The next one we're looking for is around $9. We're at the push around $9 to probably $12. Previous all-time high is around $21, but yeah, we could see that very soon. It's a strong green candle here. Okay, Ethereum Classic, just slightly above the 0.236 level. It seems like there's definitely been some resistance here at the 0.382, around $18, $19. So yeah, I could definitely see it blast up to $22 to possibly $27 pretty soon in the coming weeks, and try to make a push for its all-time highs at $43. That may be a few weeks away from now. Okay, Zcash. Not as many candlesticks to go off of here. So the thing about this chart is being weird. Don't pay attention to this. I guess it's essentially when it entered the market. Literally all cryptos have this, so basically we'll just kind of pretend like it's not there. But anyway, so Zcash, which I guess you can see a trend here. All the ones that we're looking at, we actually have proof that they haven't even started reaching for their all-time highs or really taken off yet, like some of these other ones. There's a 4.236 fib. They're all the ones we've been looking at so far are still fighting to reach above the 0.236 level. So the next level for Zcash would be around 307. You see how there's a lot of previous candlesticks that kind of like are hovering around the level. It always seems to come back here. So I feel like there might be some resistance above this level, but once it does give above it, it'll definitely be pretty strong, trying to reach for the all-time highs of, around $700-800. Okay, Dash USD. Also very similar. It has seen some rejection of the 236 level. It looks like it's ready to make a strong push to the upside. The first target we're looking for is around 464. And then the next one above there is 743. Enjoying the more conservative fib here. One of the highest levels we're looking for is the 4800. We've got ZRX here. I adjusted this slightly, but there's a lot of daily candlesticks that kept hitting this level, so I moved it down just a little bit. I'm still seeing around the $10 range for this one. It's basically around the 786 level, reaching for the 1, possibly higher. So I'm looking to see very soon with this one around 220. If it can really hold that level, then probably 360 by then. And yeah, I definitely like this curve, and the RSI could see a strong push from here. Okay, I need to draw these on the other ones, basically showing you the amounts. So I changed you can see here, if I change the Fibonacci to the actual wick, you'll get a much higher level, but if I put it down here, you know, a little bit lower estimate to 270. Say 486% return. The other one would have been 851% return. Let's see which line we're looking at here. Okay, currently about 45 cents. It's just under the 618 level. We're seeing some rejection at the 0.702. Once we can really see strength above 60 cents, that's when we'll start reaching for 70 and even $1. Okay. Also have this kind of U in the RSI, which is very exciting to see a push to the upside. Then XRP also adjusted down from the wick here. We're at the about 62 cents right now. Have not cleared the 236 level. Been under that level for quite a while, as it was previously here, and then it suddenly shot up to the 1 level, a little bit higher than that, which the fib was probably different at that time. But yeah, it went straight from 25-30 cents all the way to $3. So yeah, we can only hope that we'll see something like that just as quickly. Although we definitely would love to see something much larger. So the first targets are, there's definitely some resistance. You can see here, not even at the $1 level yet. Really around the 80 cents level, which is just above this line here, which it even reached here. It's tried to reach that a lot, actually. The 75-80 cents region. Just tapping this line multiple times, so it's really time to break out this line. Yeah, 80 cents, and then probably around $1, $1.10. 142, then 1.7, etc. This is really this is one we're going to be watching by the cents to see it move, but it really did move to $3 pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll see what it does here. But definitely like the candle formation is making me feel like it's going to have a strong push to the upside, hopefully to $1 or higher. We'll see how that works out. Just to get to the $1 again, yeah, it's basically 64 cents right now, so about a 78% return. If you want to get it to the all-time highs, around 300% right there. I'm now going to look at the hourly charts and see kind of where might be a good buy-in and where is really what's really happening in detail with these charts. Let's go with the 4-hour. Okay, Bitcoin 4-hour. It's essentially hovering around 58, 59,000, just like I mentioned previously. You can see it tapped the 61,000, so it did at some point break, but it wasn't super strong. Immediately fell back to 53,000. But yeah, it seems like, see here, there's immediate rejection of the level, also immediate rejection here, and here is kind of slow, but did it. This looks very similar to this in the way that it's kind of like slowly trying to form the support of the price level, although it lost support here. It looks like a little bit longer, like more bars, a longer time period. So this could really be the true support that it forms here to start shooting above to the 70 grand area right here. Might say that level just based off of the Fibonacci. And yeah, if we're talking about multiples and percentages, like Bitcoin, you'll hear a lot of people talking about it these days, like famous people, people with a bunch of money. It's like they're obviously very different. Like they probably have a bunch of money they could put in, but even then, they could be earning more if they put it into a different asset besides Bitcoin, because it's just so much higher value now. You can see with the price range, like let's say we're to get to 70 grand, you only get 20% there of your money, where everywhere else will give you hundreds of percents, possibly thousands. Ethereum, okay, you see it trying to break above this line right here. And say the stochastic does not seem super bullish. And same thing with kind of just hitting this initial line. There usually will have to be a couple of tests once it reaches the higher point, like you see right here when it first hit 2,000. And there's immediate rejection down to, about 1,300. And same thing here, try to reach up again around 1,900, back down to 1,500. So I'm definitely thinking that there could be a slight pullback. We can try to find some kind of support level here. So I would probably say around the 1,800 level is where it could bounce back down to, and then back up above there and see its real strength come through. Okay, Bitcoin Cash. Okay. Also seeing similar, today was honestly a big run up for cryptocurrencies, so it's definitely not a bad thing to see a slight pullback. You can see here, kind of similar to Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash is trying to make its run above 600. There's a really immediate rejection to around the 400 level. This also looks like another support level right here. And then it did finally reach above around the 740 level, and then right back down to, look at that, back to the line around 430. Yeah, back up to 600, and then again. So it'd be interesting to see if it does. Imagining not quite as big of a pullback here. This is definitely less of a range, but you could possibly see a slight pullback around maybe 520. You can see some of the rejections here happening, so that could actually be a positive thing for it to bounce off in the future. and then continue higher back up to its 740 level. EOS. EOS had a very vertical run up today and yesterday, April 1st, even the 31st, starting from the 31st to today. It's about a $2 difference, which a $2 difference is a lot for EOS. That was about 50% return. It takes the stock market, a year to give you a 7 to 10% return, and you got that in 2 days, 3 days in cryptocurrencies. Essentially, it would take you 5 years to do this in the stock market. That's why I love cryptocurrencies. Some of them, if you've been around for years, been having to wait for this market to come through, but once it actually does come through, your investments can really see a change. But again, on the other side of that though, as much as they do rise, and even in a fast way, they drop much faster. So it can definitely be scary to be, on the other end of that, but just something to keep in mind. These are the most volatile markets out there. There's nothing that even comes close to this. So you just have to be, willing to see swings in your money like this. But if you buy these assets that are undervalued, you're definitely doing better than the ones that have, reaching really high. So with such a major extension within these past 2 days, I would not be surprised to see a pullback to this 545 level. I'm not seeing, let's see, here we go, wow, that's perfect. So yeah, 545 is very strong for EOS. So we could see a pullback there and then continue higher. Ethereum Classic. So we saw, let's put this right here. We saw Ethereum Classic reaching for the $17, $18 level. It does look like there was a very quick rejection of that. Put this here. Definitely want to say, with these lines, it's like there's nothing that's necessarily right or wrong, or it can't even really be perfect either. You can see this level here. You can even put something in the middle of it. There obviously was a lot of indecision here. Then eventually broke out a little bit, and then went right back to it, and then slightly down, and then right back to the level. So, and same thing here. Once it actually tried to recover, there was immediate rejection from this level, and then bounced back to about here. The same thing here. The thing with the technical analysis is it definitely is very easy once you're looking back at the past. But my favorite thing is trend lines are, for some people they definitely work, but my favorite thing is the support, resistance and support lines, which they can essentially be both. At first it's resistance and then it becomes support. So the line right here, if there were to be a pullback on Ethereum Classic, I would first be looking for $14 with this one, and then possibly down to 12. Hopefully not back down to 10. We'll see. Yeah, it's gone from 10 to 15. I definitely, like, I don't think that it would go all the way back down after it's just done a massive run up. Probably a slight pullback, like I said, to 14, maybe 12. It does look like it'll keep reaching. Let's say a pullback here. Pull back down here. Another one. Back up. Down. Then back up. Just kind of continue like so. Zcash. Okay. As you can see, it previously was at 186, 187 in February. I think February is really a month where we saw this like initial massive run up of cryptocurrencies, and then there was also a lot of volatility in February. Towards the end of February, that's when everything kind of came way back down after it had gone up. It's not like that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you know, looking on the weekly levels, it's like these have had like a long way to go, even from, can you imagine, down from, well, that was a year ago, but a year ago this was $24. So it's already done insane. So basically, you know, before January it was before February it was $78. And then essentially more than doubled by February, so there was another pullback. Let's see. So like 80% correction after it did 130%. That's again just within like comparing the months to each other. But so back to the price levels. It looks like it's stuck within this range right now from like 110, 114 up to about 190. I'm seeing a level. It would kind of be in between here, so more like 2 levels. So, I mean, you can see here, where it's starting to see a little bit of red. So most likely, probably going to dip and tap right here around 160. And then possibly down to 132. And then again, another level is 115. That we'll see. And Dash. Okay. And just from February, let's say the beginning of February, Dash was 100 something dollars, right? You can see that this line ended up being pretty important there. Just right here. This is really its ultimate support line that it's bounced off and ran from 115 to 330. So it had, wow, that's like, how much is that? Just taking this line here to here. So about 200%. In the same month. That's insane. So then from the 200%, we went back down about 70%. So, you know, it gives and it takes, you know, like that's the main thing. There's going to be ebbs and flows that happen. As long as you're, you know, you're holding for your overall price target that you believe it will hit, in not selling was it kind of, you know, does a slight retracement, and that's where the money is made. Again, not financial advice, just talking here. Just by looking at the hourly, my hourly or 4 hourly input is a lot different from my daily or weekly input. So this is, again, just kind of looking at the levels just to show you, not necessarily to panic, that this price action is totally normal. And overall, if you're looking on the daily or on the weekly, this is still very much reaching towards our overall targets, which these are very far away from. So it's, it's just the little things at this point. So we have seen, I would say, support here from bouncing off initially to the current level that we're at, around 245. Then we went to 336, so that's obviously our next target to get back up there in the short term. And the little target in between these support line of 216. There is a pullback. I would be looking for 216 here and then continue higher to the 330. I really like this, the 4 hour. There's so much happening with the 1 hour. If you're trading, like, it could be good, but just for having like a more detailed view, but not too detailed. It's the daily, like, gives you some, but doesn't give you that much detail either. So I just really like the picture that the 4 hour gives you if you're just kind of like, what's going on with this one? So this is interesting. I feel like with this first pattern, which you could call like a bull flag, and there is a breakout, like bull flag right there, and a breakout to the upside, just a slight one from 150 to $2. This just feels like a giant continuation of this. It's been stuck in this range from like $1 to $2 even for, I guess we're looking at the 4 hour, but it's still been 2 months. Which these other cryptos, at least, you know, they're kind of doing something a little different. But yeah, $1 to $2. So just looking for it to break out of this range at this point. The RSI is completely fallen here, so this could be a very bullish look. You see here, this last dip that it had was right here at the 130, and then it went back up to $2. Same thing with these other dips. You can see that's where their lower parts, right here, you know, lower than higher. So this is a sign that makes me hopeful. I would probably be looking for it too, if it were to have another pullback before going higher, to try to reach for its all-time highs, which was around 270. And scroll out, maybe it'll show us. Let's see the 1 day. Yeah. You can see here is like a crucial level of $2 after it had its first bull market crash. It came all the way back up here, and then that's when it couldn't hold and then went back down. So yeah, the level I'm really looking for is 270. And yeah, we'll see if it makes it. If this doesn't hold, it will probably definitely drop down here and back up. XLM. I would definitely say too, like, out of the assets, 0x like the place to buy was much lower for this one. Well, I think that it has room to grow. It's not it doesn't have as great potential as these other ones I'm covering. Same thing with XLM. It was down around 10 cents a few months ago, and now it's, you know, already quadrupled. So, all right, the 4-hour XLM has not been doing very much. Doesn't have that much price to do anything, I guess. So in a range as well, from 35 to about 60 cents. So yeah, we're really just watching, see what it does with this range. Wouldn't be surprised if it tapped down back here to possibly the 40 or 35 cent level. XRP. Okay, the lever we were talking about earlier on the weekly, around the 75 to 80 cent level. You can see I try to reach it here in February 1st. There's a few other attempts to get kind of close, 63, which is really, that's where we are currently at. So it's obviously reaching for this level first. There's pretty massive swing that it's had. So looking at the closer 4-hourly, today's support is around 43 cents, just about. There could be another line. It's somewhere near 50 cents. So this one, yeah, it's ranging. We'll see what it does. Don't have any like super clear targets with this one. You can look at the daily. Yeah, not a bunch happening, so we'll just keep an eye on that one. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We're going to, like I said, keep this updated every single day, where the prices are, good or bad. We'll be here covering them. But yeah, I'll catch you next time.